weekly show. You know you can catch us every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. right here in the We Believe studio. We have some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guests today. To my left, we have the
Judge Tabitha Britton Porter.
That's right. We have Judge Tabitha Britton Porter on our left, and on our right, he's no stranger to the show. He's the man that predicted Jackson State would lose in Atlanta. Talking to the mic and let the people know.
My name is Wilfred Beal.
That's right. Mr. Beal is back with us today. Let me say this. Listen, if you listen by TV, social media, Fire Stick, whatever you listening by, I'm asking you to please hit the share button, hit the like button, hit some kind of button to let us know that somebody is listening out there. Timothy Brown said, good evening, Malcolm. Timothy Brown, we got Judge Britton Porter and also Mr. Beal on the show. Chris Williams is locked in. Hey, listen. We're going to have a very, very good show today. But first, Mr. Beal, we got a wonderful person in the studio in the first segment of the show. If you don't mind, it's always polite, Mr. Beal, for ladies to go first. I know at Southern and Baton Rouge, they probably didn't teach that down there. But in Jackson, Mississippi, women go first. You familiar with they teach that at Southern?
Oh, they teach it at Jackson. I'm glad they're learning here.
So look on my left, everyone, she's no stranger to the community. Judge, we glad you made it.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, my first question is to you. I know, and a lot of people know, if you follow her on Facebook, am I right, Judge?
Correct.
You can follow Judge Britton Porter on Facebook. And my first question is to her, but I want to say that if you follow her, you notice that she always is in the community serving. You know, as a Rotarian, Mr. Beal, one of our mottos is service before what?
Self.
So, Judge Britton Porter, I want you to tell us exactly what do you do, why you do it, what do you do, why you do it, and just tell us a little something about what did God lay on your heart to do, and just let the people know what you do.
Okay. All right. So, being a judge, I'm a Hinds County Justice Court judge in District 2, and I love serving on the bench, but I also love serving in the community. I do everything with passion and from the bottom of my heart. So I enjoy going and giving out food in my community and communities all over Hinds County. I was in Edwards today, and I gave away, we gave away toys, and credit goes to Police Chief Terrence Crump.
My friend.
Yes, and very, very nice guy, wonderful guy. And I just really enjoyed giving out treats and giving out toys. We gave out a lot of toys today. So it was such an honor to be there, to be able to give out to the community. Again, usually on a weekly basis, sometimes monthly basis, depends on how food comes in, but I believe in giving back to the community. Sometimes we give away food. We've even given away clothes. So in any capacity that I can and that I can serve, that's what I do. God has called me to do this, not only, again, to serve on the bench, but to serve in the community and make sure I stay connected to to some of my people that vote for me, and just let them know what I stand for and who I am.
I tell you, Judge, you know, you have a lot of Johnny come by nights. Is that what you call them, Mr. Beal? Is that the word?
They're fly by nights.
Yeah, that's it. See, I need help. That's why Mr. Beal here. Mr. Beal, listen, you call them Johnny fly by nights. And you know, you have people that come by right before election time with all kind of schemes and all kind of haircuts and dyeing their hair, Mr. Beal, and pretending to be somebody. They're not from the community. They never done nothing in the community. But then they come along around this time of year, Judge, and guess what? They make promises. Mm-hmm. And most of the promises they make don't even be, it don't even be logical, nothing they can do. So what I'm saying to you is, you've been working year round.
That's right.
Last year, the year before that, yeah. So
Since I've been here.
since she's been, y'all hear what she says coming out of her mouth. So Judge Brent Porter, I want you to also tell us, you told us about that. Also tell us about your sweet potato ministry, because you got the strongest sweet potato ministry in the world. Do you hear me? I asked for sweet potatoes one time, and the lady told me, she said, I'm going to wait and get mine from Judge Brent.
That's funny that you say that, but I have several people that say, no, you have the best sweet potato.
Oh, my God.
They say, I want some of your sweet potatoes.
You want some of her sweet potato?
I want some of her sweet potato.
Oh, God.
That's right.
Watch you, Mr. Bill. Go ahead, Judge. We just having fun, y'all.
Yeah.
So tell us about that sweet potato ministry.
Sweet potato ministry.
Year round.
My father, let me give credit to
Thank
him.
you.
My father, the retired Justice Court Judge Ivor Britton, my father still works diligently getting me these items. So I have several people that make contributions, but my father is the person that goes out, gets those items for me, and we just go out into the community and we get them. And we just believe in serving. And
That's
we
right.
believe in giving. So at all times of the year, he'll say, I got some sweet potatoes coming, and I spit bar. And so a lot of people enjoyed that today. They also have a snack bag. So we gave out those snack bags along with toys. But the sweet potatoes, yes, people absolutely love them.
Well, I can vouch for that. I had some sweet potatoes, Mr. Bill, and the lady told me, say, are those Judge Brent sweet potatoes? I said, no. I said, he on the other side of town working. She said, well, I'm going to wait till he comes through here because he got the best. So, you know, when I'm saying he, I'm talking about she, you know, her father. Sweet potatoes.
Right.
She do sweet potatoes.
Right.
So they just knew Brent. The one Brent sweet potatoes, they didn't want mine. And guess what?
Yeah.
Wasn't no love lost, because when you're doing things for the right reason,
Right.
and you're doing it for the people, ain't no iron people. Have you ever saw the iron people, Mr. Bill?
No iron people.
You've been around the world.
That's
It's
right.
PEOPLE.
That's right.
Is there I in it?
No, there's no iron
There's
people.
no I. So when you're serving for the people. Now, Judge, let me ask you another question. I heard you say that toys.
Okay.
And Edwards, Mississippi, we all know is in western part of Hinds County.
Right.
There's no big jobs in Edwards. There's no big factories. There's no big colleges where people can work at a university, no professors, but it's some good-hearted people in Edwards. And I can say, you can vouch for this too, that you're always, mostly you, is always in the Edwards community. Am I right?
Yes, because I've been there even when they've had tornadoes. They've had 2 tornadoes
right.
since I've been in office. So what I did was I rented a U-Haul, and I was able to go there and able to distribute some food. So that time I
right.
had no sweet potatoes. I took another route, and I was able to go in and give out milk. I was able to give eggs. I gave bread, and I gave canned goods. So
And I remember when all this happened.
Yes, and it's also on my Facebook page. So if you would like to follow me on Facebook to
That's
see
right.
where my giveaways are.
Now she go live and let you know, hey, y'all better get ready. In about 2 hours, I'm gonna be headed to Presidential Hill.
That's right.
I'm gonna be headed to Bel Air.
That's right.
And they just love you in Bel Air. Oh my! Let me tell you something, Mr. Bill. Bel Air is over where the golf court is. Golf course off Northside Drive. You've been over there with me.
Yeah.
I'm reminding Mr. Bill because he's not originally from Jackson, but he's here. So the people in Bel Air, when I tell you they love Judge Brent Porter, if you tell one of them over there that she your cousin, man, do you hear me? Oh, they'll be nice to you, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm saying that's one of her areas that she go in and always giving back.
That's right.
In the Bel Air community. Am I right?
Correct.
And this Mount Olive, out Brown and Clinton, Brownsville, Bolton area, she's always working in the community. I ain't just trying to just put nobody else down, but it's going to take a hell of a person in this world, listen to me, in Hinds County to outwork this woman, man. She wakes up working. She's working. Am I right?
Yeah.
And you don't hear none of the good things about on the bench.
That's great.
That's right. So tell us a little something. I know you can't talk a lot about the bench, but tell us about your serving. Have you enjoyed serving?
Oh, I love it. Like again, I say it's a true passion on the bench and off the bench. So Justice Court is your court where you file your landlord-tenant complaints points. We go up to 3,500. That's where you come to get married. It's also where you come. We have DUIs first and second that we handle. We only handle misdemeanors in our court. We handle simple assault, domestic violence. We handle all those things in justice court.
And I tell you this right here, Judge, not only do you serve, but you also, as a judge, is committed. When I say committed, meaning you're committed to also helping people.
Yes.
Because y'all have programs for different people. Some people may have, I'm not a justice court judge, Mr. Bill, so I don't want nobody to think I know, but because I don't know. But y'all do have programs where people have anger management.
Oh, yes.
And y'all try to work with people when y'all see that there's a
need.
There you go. So kind of tell us about that.
So we have drug court, Hinds County Justice Court, Judge Court, which is run by Judge Sutton. Judge Sutton is over that program. Also, we have anger management. We have so many programs. We even have a GED program.
Wow.
So that if someone has a need to say, hey, I want to get my GED, can you help me? Can you point me in the direction? So what I can do is call someone so they can get that GED. We have several programs. I've even had an inmate say, Judge, I need some counseling. Can you get me some help? So what we do is we have people on standby that we can call. We'll have the court clerk to call and or whomever to call, and we will call those people, and they are there to serve. And it has actually worked out wonderfully.
Wow, y'all hear it.
Several people to tell me, thank you so very much for helping me. But let me tell you something else. I mentor in the community. I mentor in Jackson Public Schools and other places.
Cage Chapel too.
Cage Chapel.
That's right.
My church, yes.
That's right.
I'm part of the youth department.
Hey.
The little spring festival.
We love the youth.
Yes, we do.
Yes. And
I have my own youth.
And you're a mother too, so I want to put that out there.
Oh, yes.
You got a handsome young son. I want to say it. Everybody got a handsome son.
I have a handsome son.
Who we
He's
get
just
it from?
like his mother.
Oh my God.
Right.
He looks just like his mother.
Watch out, Mr. Bill.
Right.
Bill say right.
Yeah.
We joking now.
You're just fine, but yes.
So at K, let me ask you this. At K Chapel, I know he was in the Boy Scouts, and you work in the youth ministry.
Yes.
So tell us a little about your stint in the youth ministry, some of the things that y'all do, activities-wise at the church.
Okay. Well, we have a wide variety of programs that we have in the church for the youth. We have a youth council. They take a trip and they go to Washington, D.C. or wherever they're going to have their annual youth trip. They take trips. They help out in the church. And they're so inspired because there are several people there that are representatives, and they talk to them and they mentor as well.
Oh, wow. So
we also have where we have the choir that also the choir they show, and then we turn around, we have the mime team, we have the little dance team, we have the praise team at church. So we have so many different programs. We also give back to Walton School. That is our adopted school. So that's one of the schools that I give to as well.
So what school is that?
Walton.
Walton. You know, that's where I went on Bailey.
On Bailey.
Verdant Edition. If you out of Verdant Edition,
yes.
That's for me and the late Robert Davis of the Better Men Society. We all started at Walton Elementary on Bailey. Back when Bailey was it was a beautiful street back then, bro. Yeah, it didn't have stop signs with red lights and red lights. It didn't have all that. Then we had a nice bridge going to the Jackson Mall, and it was very, very, very nice. Team, but I had to bring it up because I am a Walton baby.
So again, Walton, our church gives back to that school.
Wow.
I joined the PTA there. My son is not a member of that school, but I just thought it would be great to join.
Oh yeah, great school.
PTA.
And those children need help in the community.
They do, and
That's
so
right.
we also give them books. We do different things, and we just make sure we give back and give to the children there.
I tell you one thing right here. Now y'all heard it from the judge herself. Y'all didn't hear it from Malcolm Johnson. And somebody said, well, Chris Williams, one of y'all, Chris Lewis, Kim Lewis, or one of y'all, I always like to say Malcolm ain't got it right, but I'm getting it right this time. Listen, the judge said it out of her own mouth. She said that she helps in the PTA and Jackson Public School at Walton. She says she serves in the youth ministry at Case Chapel Missionary Baptist Church. And she also say that she, as a judge, believe in giving people second chances.
Yes.
Kind of stint to that second chance thing, because some people don't like to give an opportunity to afford to give people second chances that have made small mistakes. So kind of tell us about it, Judge.
So the thing is, no one is perfect, correct?
That's right.
All right. So
Is that right, Mr. Bill?
That's right.
Well, talk a little bit. I want to hear something.
That's yeah. That is right.
That's right. Mr. Bill says right.
Yeah.
No one is perfect. So people deserve a second chance.
That's right.
And the people that we give a second chance to are people who are really sincere about, look, I'm sorry, I messed up.
That's right.
I just need a second chance on trying to get this correct. I am trying to get my life together. I'm trying to do these things. I need counseling. I need someone to point me in the correct direction. So can you help me? And that's what we have these people for, that come to our court that say, hey, we have this counseling center. That say, hey, we have this that we can offer, and we want to go through you. Oh, hey, I messed up. I got a DUI. I'm trying to get in nursing school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to go to law school. I am trying to get in Morehouse, but I got this deal hanging over my head. So can you help me through this program? Can you help me get into a program where they can help me so I can try to further my career? Because I let them know what you do now affects your future.
That's right.
You don't realize when you are 20 years old, 17 years old, and you get these tickets, or you get something, a citation for a DUI, you go to jail, and then you say, hey, when you get to be 30 and you try to get a job, that's hanging over your head.
That's right.
So that's what we have those programs in place for.
So what I'm trying to say, Judge, you're a judge of second chance. There's so many people, Mr. Bill, don't forgive, hold grudges, and then as elected officials, they treat people like dogs. And so what Judge Brent Porter is saying, that she believes when people come into the courtroom, and it's not not no man that jump on his wife every Friday. And if you come to court every week, that every Friday you get paid, get drunk, and beat on your wife, and had to go to justice court, had the constable got to come by there, there's a problem. You hear me, Mr. Bill?
Yep.
She talking about now, if it ain't no every Friday for the last 7 years,
Right.
you don't need no help. You need to go to jail. Am I right?
Yes.
So she's saying, that as a judge, that if she see that this person has made a mistake, this person goes to work, and this person is trying to do something in life other than rob, steal, or kill, and as a judge, they can do the right thing and suggest that these people go get help. She's one of those kind of judges. What you think about judges that allow that helps people, Mr. Bill?
Oh, I think highly of them, because I'm gonna go back to what the country folks said coming out of slavery. They said, if you think the cost of education is expensive, then buy a little ignorance, and you'll be making mistakes for the rest of your life. You will not be understanding your environment for the rest of your life. That second chance takes in those people who are not knowledgeable or understanding the process, and they have gotten caught up, like they said in other cities, you call a case. They call a case because they wasn't familiar with the statutes, the laws, the process, or how it affects them. And when they get in there, they get an awakening. And then they just say, help me, somebody.
Yeah.
I won't do this anymore.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Now, you've heard Judge Brent Porter for the last 20 minutes on this show talking about her ministry of giving back, talking about her serving, giving people another chance, talking about her working at her church, serving in the PTA at the school her child only attend. Are these the kind of people we need serving?
Yes, and that's great that she does that. Applaud her.
That's right.
Because not only that she serves and she's in the community, she is continuing a legacy as her father.
That's right.
Okay,
she may be going a little further.
Right.
Right. She says she's working with the church, with the youth department. She's also with the. I think her son is a Boy Scout. So
right.
She could be going a little further. Now the father, I know her father. I know he's a great guy, real talk, one of the greatest. But what I'm saying to you is, by listening to what he's been doing, do you recommend her to our people? Because we have a problem of people coming along and fooling our people. Close your eyes, what you see. You don't see nothing, do you?
Right.
So you have people come along and tell people to shut their eyes and I'm going to do this and I'm going to give out sweet potatoes with gold and just come up with all kind of lies. And people just go to believing in stuff.
Right.
So what I'm saying, by listening to her from her mouth, from her heart, and her telling you what she's doing, do you highly, highly recommend Judge Tabitha Britton as a I'm not a statesman because men are statesmen, but do you recommend? Do you see what I see?
I see what you see.
That's what I want. You see what I see.
And I'm gonna say this. This is my first time meeting the judge.
Yes, sir.
I have seen the judge in the community since I've been in the Jackson community. Okay. So I cannot say that she is not helping others and serving others.
I want you to say it.
Okay?
Yeah, she said, and I want you to say what you just saw.
But I will say what the old folks said also.
What the old folks say?
Only what you do for others will last.
Oh, man, you talking now.
Okay? And it's going to carry on.
That's right.
Whether you get the adversaries or not. Because the old folks also said, I hear what you're saying, you're running for office, but I see what you're talking about. You out here helping her.
You out here, that's right. But she ain't running, she already in office. So we want to clear that up.
Which is true.
That's right, she's in.
And understanding the process of forgiveness, understanding the process of second chance is all involved in helping others.
Now listen, Judge, I want you to give your last little briefing to the people for you. We get through with this segment. So before we go to our break, I want you to give the people your last segment. Thank them or whatever you want to do.
Okay. Well, thank you for allowing me to be your justice court judge. It's just an honor and a pleasure to serve. I believe in serving in the community. I believe in serving in the schools. I mean, I'm a mentor in my own son's school. I believe in going on the field trips. I believe in giving the snacks, the foods, doing whatever. I even tell the teachers, I say, hey, if you ever need somebody to come in and do a little extra, just call me. I'll come. If I don't have anything else to do, if I'm not working today, I will come.
Wow.
So I just thank you for allowing me to be your judge, and it's just an honor and a pleasure to serve.
And you know you're welcome to come back at any time. You will be back. But I want to say this. I want to thank Judge Tabitha Britton Porter for coming. But I really want to thank her for what she done today. She was out in Edwards helping them with a big event they got going for the holidays. And Judge, I want to, before we go to this break, I want to personally tell you, thank you for serving with integrity. Some people just serving, no integrity, but you're serving with integrity. And we finna go to the break. And we're going to be back with some grown folks stuff. We're going to come back talking about Jackson Public Schools shutting their schools down. Judge, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Advertise on WeBelieve.global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit WeBelieve.global or call 800-492-5186, option 1. Something to say? Do you want your voice heard? Join the WeBelieve.global lineup. Be the star of your own show. For more info, call 800-492-5186, option number 1, or visit online at WeBelieve.global.
SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into MDOT grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. By using SocratesGarrettENT.com's crushed concrete products, anyone from homeowners to general contractors can help reduce landfill landfilled concrete waste, conserve natural resources, and gain significant economic savings on materials and disposal costs. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrettENT.com.
We are back live right here on the Brent Hazzard and Malcolm Johnson Weekly. That's right, y'all know the rest of the weekly show. We are here in the studio on We Believe Digital Podcast. Mr. Bill.
Yes.
I know we in the house. I know you feeling good. I know you're the judge. I promised you some sweet potatoes and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm the kind of people we need serving in our community, people that's giving back and doing, not people that's sitting down being lazy and not doing. Do you hear me?
That's correct.
We need people that's on top of it. And I can say one thing about Judge Brent Porter, she's one of the very few that is on top of what's going on in the community. And I want to, again, thank her for coming back today and sharing her ministry, her mission, and her goals with us on this wonderful show. But let me say this, the call-in number is 1-800, that's right, 1-800, Mr. Bill, 492, 5186. And guess what, Mr. Bill?
Yes.
I don't know if you heard it or not, but there's been some big things going on. And the things is that there was some meetings about closing down approximately 14 Jackson Public Schools. Now, I'm asking the people today, Mr. Bill, do you think we need to close 14 more schools in Jackson Public School? Let the people shine in on it. You know, last year, a few years ago, we had a bond referendum where we got more money for the schools, 60-some million. But my question to you, Mr. Bill, in times like this, do we need more schools or do we need less schools? Now, you tell me, Mr. Bill.
Well, I would say times like these calls for us to take a look at efficiency as it relates to education. Education has been a political football for generations. We have to take a look at Jackson, the development, how we bringing in new businesses, are we getting new residents moving in, are we having residents moving out, and our teacher to classroom, student to teacher ratios, all those things have to be taken into account. Now, I do understand that for many years we've had schools in these communities. The decision makers will have to look at, are these communities supporting this school? Are we having to bus students in to keep the school vibrant? Those things are being answered, need to be answered, and have been answered. Which schools are affected and how the communities are looking and able to support the schools, those things are major criteria.
That's right.
Okay? Yeah, we want our schools in our community. We like for our kids to walk down the street, go to school. But are we in the same generations of education and academics and population that we can continue that? And that question is asked by me.
Well, Mr. Bill, you know, I respect your opinions because you are an honorable guy that's from the community, know the community. You lived in big cities, bigger than Jackson, Atlanta, Baltimore, Detroit, and other cities. But my concern is, Brother Bill, is when you close the schools down, what does that mean going to happen? That means empty buildings in the community, right?
That means you're going to have empty buildings.
And what normally happens, what normally be attracted to empty buildings?
Well, for the most part, the downtrodden will take over and be housed in those buildings because they have access to cover. There are other scenarios that can take place, such as the building, and it depends on the structure, the building can be purchased by corporations, companies, what we call nonprofits.
That's right.
And run various programs out of those schools.
Well, something got to be done. They talking about closing down Brinkley. Brinkley is right across from a large church, Morning Star. There's a lot of retirement homes there. a lot of retirement centers right around the school. And if you close Brinkley down, now Brinkley is old. Brinkley got mold. Brinkley got a lot of problems. But you need to find, if you're going to close the school down, tear the school down. Do you hear me, Mr. Bill?
That's a good point.
Take that land and clean it off and do something with it other than just leave it empty. It's over in the Shade Oak, in the Shade Oaks community, but don't just leave an empty building for the crackheads, the people that's going to steal all of the toilets out the bathroom, the people that's going to do this and do that, and then the homeless people going to move in. Turn it to a homeless shelter. But do something besides close down 14 schools in Jackson and leave these empty buildings. And I want to send a shout out, that's right, to Miss Kay, who checked in, Floyd Lewis. Also, Mr. Claire was checked in. I enjoyed this radio show on this morning. Y'all can call in at 1-800-492-5186 and let us know what you think about Jackson Public School closing down up to 14 schools. They talking about it. Now, I'm not saying these schools need to be operating if they ain't got but 50 children there, because it costs a lot. But a plan need to be put in place for the building. Am I right?
That's correct.
Now, you know, and I know, if you shut the building down, you can turn the lights out and save some money, right?
True.
You can run less buses. But at the same time, I want to know, Mr. Bill, what is the plan with the building? We got to call Mr. Bill.
Okay.
Caller, you on there?
Hey, Mac. Hi, Mr. Bill. How y'all doing today?
Are we doing great, sir?
Doing great. Hello to you.
Okay. My thing is, a couple of years ago, they fought the state for not taking over, to keep them from taking over Jackson Public School District. And they done closed down about 14 schools since then, so they talking about closing down more schools?
Yes, sir. They had
they closing down schools. And they still closing down schools. What they're doing with the money that they raise taxes for to improve the schools? I mean, we ain't built no new high schools in Jackson since Callaway or something like that?
And Callaway probably was. No, Forest Hill probably was the last school rebuilt. They rebuilt Forest Hill, and then in Forest Hill, they redid the gym. They brought the gym up to date. They redid the school, and they got a new football arena. But Forest Hill probably was the last one that was built.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, we renovating, but you got Northwest Rankin just built a brand new school from the ground up.
Yeah.
So how come
now, sir, I'm not mad with the
ain't built a new high school from the ground up?
The people that built on Northwest Rankin did the right thing. You're supposed to build. And I believe what Jackson should have done.
Exactly.
I believe what Jackson should have done. They should have probably closed down 3 high schools and built a new one and consolidated and put maybe 3 schools into one in a new building, and then eventually start building schools. Now, like if you look at Blackburn, that's a brand new school behind Jackson State, but they closed down Hardy. But Hardy's supposed to be a sports complex. Man, we don't need no damn sports complex in Jackson. We need some education. We need to teach kids how to work on computers, Mr. Bill.
Okay.
We need to teach young people how to go to class and become something, and not how to throw a football and shoot a basketball. Go ahead, Colin.
And see, that's what I'm saying. See, my thing is, when the state was going to take a over, it been the responsibility of the state to bring the district up to the standards of state standards.
Yes,
but if they'll let them take it over, but we had the local politics that fought tooth to nail and keep them from doing it. Now look at the school district position is in now.
Well, let me ask you a question, Colin. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Did you watch the city council meeting today?
Yeah, I watched it. That's what I was talking about earlier. How they taking money from the JPD pay budget to pay for the law case against the gray, WLBT sued them for some data back in a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so
they taking salaries from that. Yeah, they taking salaries from that to pay for the lawyers and the court fees. They fought the case all the way to the ethics court.
Oh wow! See that's the kind of stuff.
And then
put it on the page.
I posted it. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, yeah, I read it when I first come on when Judge Tabitha Britton Porter was on. I read it in, but I didn't want to mix the judge up with the city council. You know, that's 2 different areas of government. But let me ask you this, caller. Do you believe in your heart that Jackson Public School need to shut down 14 schools, or do you feel like that they need to leave them open? Because some of the reason they saying is because there's no students, Children going to charter school. We got all kind of excuses. So what do you want done with the building? And I'm gonna listen, caller.
But see, that's another thing. You have some charter school want to buy some of these school buildings, and then when you sell them or listen to some of these the charter schools, let them use it.
I got
They're just sitting there going empty and not nobody using it. So if you're gonna close them, lease them or rent them to nearby charter schools so you can keep some kind of money going through instead of just sitting there being empty.
And some of these buildings be turned into homeless centers, brother. We need some shelters for homeless people, somewhere to feed them and get them off these streets, man, because Jackson has a problem. We have a serious problem of people that want to sleep at the stop sign at the red light on 55, in front of Target, in front of the Cracker Barrel, Mr. Bill. You've seen them out, ain't you?
Mm-hmm. Huh? Yes, I've seen them out there.
Yeah, and so I think we need to work on it. Go ahead.
And there'll be another way to use them. I mean, we got plenty of reasons to use these buildings at the old high schools so they get the point.
Gotcha.
We can't do much tear them down. Got to do something with them now before we get that bag and get that depleted.
Thank you for calling in, Carl. We're gonna try to catch another. We're gonna try to let a couple of more get in today.
You have a good one now, Malcolm.
Yes, sir. 1-800-492-5186. That's right. You can get on the Brent Hazzard and Malcolm Johnson show. Hey, y'all listen. This show is sponsored by the man himself. Y'all know my man, Attorney Brent Hazzard of the Richard Schwartz and Associates law firm. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I'm gonna say it. I said it last week. If you need some digital work done, if you need some commercials or something run, come by and holler at my man Dex and Ariel. They do commercials. They do all kind of stuff that'll get you where you need to be. This time, Mr. Bill, you need commercials on your social media page.
That's
your
right.
Instagram page.
That's right.
I mean, even if you want to, I did a skit with Jerry Curl Slim about Deion Sanders, and I was the coach. I mean, they done that. They put all of that together, man. They do great work, and it's election time coming up, so you candidates need some of them slots did for TV, some of them slots did for social media. Call Ariel and Dick, or just get with me, and I'll give you their phone number. Support our young black people, Mr. Bill. How you feel about that, Mr. Bill?
That's monumental, because we have black people that have aspirations, visions, and dreams of accomplishing and making a contribution to our society as well as the world. And that little bit of confidence, you can do it. If you don't support them any other way, it's great.
I want to send a special shout out to Judge Kenny Lewis, Justice Court Judge District 4. Also, Judge Chapter Brent Porter just left here, who's doing an amazing job in District 2. Want to send a shout out to our county attorney, Gerald Mumford. Great guy. I also want to send a shout out to a good friend of mine. That's right, Attorney Raphael Green, the Gilmore Green Law Firm over there on President Streets. I want to send them a shout out. That's right, Miss Beatrice Slaughter and the crew. Retora, and also Raphael. I want to send those people a shout out over there at the law firm on President Street. Now listen, 1-800, we got a call on there. Caller, you on there? I'm sorry, I forgot they was on the line. Caller, you on there?
Oh no, he hung up.
He hung up. Call back, 1-800-492-5186. Go ahead, Mr. Bill.
Well, I'm just thinking about the last caller talked about they don't want to give the schools that they're going to close to the charter schools, and that there's a couple of scenarios there. And we asked the question: is it because they don't want to turn the facility over to their competitor? Is it because they will not get the worth out the charter school, or it will create an environment to cause them to close further schools? Mm-hmm. We have to ask that question. As the last caller talked about those empty schools.
Mr. Bill, when you was in Baltimore and Atlanta, living in Detroit, were charter schools like they are around here in Jackson, or was it accepted? How was that spirit with charter schools in those cities?
Okay, charter schools is of late. When I was in those cities, the school systems were prominent. Uh-huh. Charter schools now are new generation schools brought about for various reasons, and that is a similar concept to private schools, because a lot of the influentials and the haves and the well-off had begun to put their kids into private schools, and charter schools come along to intercept that. So,
Wow.
so we live in a new generation of education. But I will say this: I'm gonna give you the bottom line. If your child is smart, no matter what school you put them in, they're gonna be smart.
That's right. Whether he in SWAC, HBCU, or Ivy League, if he's smart, he's smart. And
If he's smart,
if he's
he's gonna
dumb,
be
he
smart.
what?
Right.
If they dumb, they just dumb. And guess what? I wasn't real smart in my first 2-3 years of school. Man, I struggled. Man, when I got to the 3rd grade, the teacher looked at my mama. She said, Mrs., your son is going to be very smart. You know the difference between kindergarten, 1st grade, and 2nd grade?
Not much.
It was. I was mannish. Man, you know, when you leave daycare, you ain't never been around no little girls, and boy, I had that long hair. Man, I was doing everything but the right thing. When I got to 3rd grade, they had a paddle. You hear me? You know what a paddle was?
Yeah.
You know, they put something on you, turn around, give me a stick, let me show you.
Yeah.
They get something, and they hit you, boom.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, in 3rd grade, they started paddling. Man, I started doing my work, Mr. B.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't paddle you in kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade. You hold your hand out, and they hit you with the ruler.
Yeah.
Man, when I got to 3rd grade, we had a teacher named Mr. King over there walks.
Mm-hmm.
He said, your son gonna be smart. And when my mom left the school, he paddled me that day, and I got it right.
Right. It didn't mean that you couldn't learn.
There you go.
It's about your interest. It's about you paying attention and you motivating yourself. Because it's in us. So all of us can learn, but it's just that are we going to commit?
1-800-492-5186. We want to know today, what do you think about the 14 schools, Jackson Public Schools, is talking about maybe getting ready to shut down? And I hear Brinkley maybe one of those schools. So I don't have the list in front of me, but I just heard a little something that Brinkley could be one of those schools that they're getting ready to shut down. Do we have a caller?
In high school?
I don't have a list.
Okay.
But everybody kind of upset about Brinkley because Brinkley is one of the schools that's been around a long time. So that was one of the schools that the community was kind of in an uproar about. 1-800-492-5186. You can join us right here. Floyd Lewis, I heard there's a plan to put houses in that area that the people in that area can't afford or going to buy them out for pennies on the dollar. That the people in that area can't afford them. See what I'm saying? I don't know, Mr. Floyd, but the number here, 1-800-492-5186. But I can say this, Mr. Floyd. When you're in positioning of a board or you're in position of management, am I right? If you got 50 schools and you got a school with 100 kids at, and it's another school maybe 2 miles down the street, I really don't see no need for both schools to be operating. You can take the best teachers and put them in one school. The ones that's not certified, you can find them something to do. Then you can run less buses. Am I right, Mr. Bill? You save gas. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have as many security guards. So what I'm saying is, now the board could be right. And I know people that went to Brinkley, or Powell, or maybe went to Rowan. They're gonna say, "Hey, I went to school there. I don't want that school shut down." But the problem is, if there's nobody going, Mr. Bill, and the lights on, the heat on, the air on, the cafeteria going, and it ain't but 130 kids there, then you have to make a choice. Am I right?
That is correct.
Now talk on that.
We basically got to take a look at some of the fundamental principles. What are we doing in our community? The gentleman says around the school they're getting ready to build some homes and everybody may not be able to afford it. Well, is that an issue? Or is it an issue that during the times that we're in now, are we transitioning young families with jobs and opportunities that starting their families and having kids and what we call populating the community with children? Do we have that taking place? And I know we've been around here a long time. Boy, we can say, I went to that school 55 years ago. Don't close that school.
Yeah, my mama went to school there.
But where are the youth?
And the lights not working.
For this generation?
Yes, sir.
The transition, the time.
And tell you something else, Mr. Bill. Some of them schools may not even have Wi-Fi in them. Because the roof got, metal up in the roof, and they can't get the wire, and they need to put the computers in. Or cell phones may not be working in some of those schools because they're outdated. So we need the people to come forward and let the people know, Mr. Bill, why they are closing down the school and get the people, don't just close the school down and leave the empty buildings there. Let the people know what's the plan. Let the people know, and Mr. Bill come along and say he want to spend $1 million for that building.
Yes.
And put a nonprofit there, and then this nonprofit is going to be a ministry to change people's lives and give people hope in the community and have food there, apples and oranges there for the children when they hungry. Then the school system need to sit down and say, you know what, Mr. Bill got a good plan. Now, Mr. Bill, as long as you bring us a blueprint and a plan, and we want to work with you to keep the community going. Now, if they just trying to shut the building down, and then the homeless people start knocking the windows out, or the drug dealers start using the school for the gym to sell drugs out of, I got a serious problem, Mr. Bill. But if they doing the right thing, meet with the community, let the community know what's going on, then hey, guess what, Mr. Bill? I don't have a problem with it, do you?
I don't have a problem, and that's a part of controlling that environment and making sure, because you close the school, the community doesn't suffer by having wayward activities that takes place.
Mr. Bill, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back with our last segment right here on the Brent Hazzard and Malcolm Johnson weekly podcast show. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, keepers of the knowledge for people who speak the truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippilink.com and click on Home Delivery.
We're back. We back right here on the Brent Hazzard and Malcolm Johnson show. We in the house, Mr. Bill.
Yes.
I really enjoyed you today. I enjoyed our other guest, Judge Chapter Brent Porter, who brought so much good information about what you're doing. Listen, if you on Facebook, go to Judge Chapter Brent, where it's Tabitha Brent Porter page, and send her a friend request where you can keep up when she have giveaways, because she have a lot of good things, clothes, toys, sweet potatoes, food, milk, all kind of things she give away weekly. Sometimes she do it twice a week, and sometimes whenever she's ready, she normally go live on Facebook. So keep up and try to go out and help people. Sometimes you may get a gallon of milk from somebody else, from her, and take it to somebody that you know needs some milk. They got children, Mr. Bill. So don't forget about that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this right here. I enjoy my guy, Mr. Bill, right here. I don't want to tell everybody, Mr. Bill is like an uncle of mine. He called me his nephew, and I've been calling him an uncle ever since we knew him. But I can tell you something about Mr. Bill. He always clean. He always talking positive. You never hear him putting no one down. Sometimes Mr. Bill is involved with a lot of stuff in the community. And he's another person that's an activist, but he's an activist for trying to help people. Am I right, Mr. Bill?
That's correct.
Tell the people a little something about that, then we're going to move on with our last little subject for today. Tell the people about you, Mr. Bill.
I'm a transportation professional. I've been around a while. My father was an activist, and it was passed on. It was about helping others and giving to the community its necessary resources that you can provide to help them better themselves, to help them be a part of the different amenities that is afforded them through the government, through job opportunity, through education. It's a matter of keeping everybody on par. And I have been in a lot of situations where I've blazed a lot of trails as it relates to transportation and management. Thank you.
Y'all heard from Mr. Bill himself. I just wanted y'all to kind of get a idea of who Mr. Bill is and what kind of person he is. He's a guy that loves the community. He's a guy that get up early to go to breakfast to try to see what can he do to help the community. He's a guy that do a lot of volunteering in the community. He's a guy that loves the community. Am I right?
That is correct.
And that's the kind of guy that Malcolm Johnson can say that I can call my friend, and he's a proud friend of mine that I'm proud to call my friend and will continue to be my friend. Now, Mr. Bill, I know it's Christmas Sunday, and we won't be back on before Christmas on Sunday, and the day is Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But and I want to take these last few minutes to kind of talk about Christmas, what it means. Ariel, Christmas is not about a toy. Christmas is not about a new bicycle. Christmas is not about a new doll, Mr. Bill. But the true meaning in Christmas is when we celebrate that Christ was born. Am I right?
That's right.
That's when we celebrate. Now, there is no proof that he was born in December. There's no proof it was January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. But that's when we celebrated. Am I right, Mr. Bill?
That is correct.
Now, Christmas is not about lights. Christmas is not about Christmas trees and a star blanket, in the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Those are just the things that we as people, Mr. Bill, have came up with to make that a part of the celebration, the celebration for the world.
Mm-hmm.
The blinking lights and up in the light bill and all that stuff, the light company make money. Who makes money off that? Huh?
The power people.
MPNL, the energy.
The power
the
people.
The toys. Guess who make money off that?
Yeah, that's
but
right.
I'm going to say this. The real meaning of Christmas, Brother Dick, is when we know in our heart that a little child was born in Bethlehem several years ago. And for those that believe that he died for your sins, you believe it. For those that don't believe it, until you can prove to me somebody else died for your sins, I'm going to stick to what I know. And you hear what I said, Mr. Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's some more people died, but I hadn't read nowhere where none of them got up. You hear me, Mr. Bill? Now, I read, what? Jesus got up. Am I right?
That's right.
So I wanted to say that on the show. And I want everybody to have a Merry, Merry Christmas. And I want everybody to enjoy themselves. Put the guns down. Put the knives down, Mr. Bill. And spend time with your family, with your loved ones, with your parents, with your brothers, with your sisters, with your uncles, with your aunties. Get a good meal. And if you can afford it, don't go borrow no money from Tower Loan. But if you can afford it, Mr. Bill, go buy a few toys for the children and let them enjoy Christmas like we did. If you can't afford some toys, go get them some. You remember we used to get peppermints, apples, and oranges? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And we're glad to get it.
Now, Mr. Bill said, Mr. Bill said, what was your name, Mr. Bill? Glad what?
I was glad to get it.
And I said that to say this. But there are people out there that buy bicycles for children that's less privileged. There are people out there that donate. You hear me, Mr. Bill? That helps. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say it on the air what we're doing. Even myself have even got some projects going and trying to make sure that we remember that Christmas is good to receive, but it's about giving. Am I right, Mr. Bill?
That's right. That's right.
We want to make sure that we know Christmas is about giving. And I want to thank Mr. Brent, Hazzard, and Richard Swanson Associates for all they have done. I said it last week. Every time Jack State scored a touchdown, there was a white law firm that was sponsoring the touchdowns on the radio, on the scoreboard. You had some others doing something. You had attorneys Gilmore and Green, young couple that's doing a lot of things in the community. They're doing a lot of things for people and helping. You got the Mumford & Mumford law firm, always. That's right, Gerald and his wife, Kamisha, who's been on this show with us, Gerald, him and his wife are both attorneys, and they give back. And I said them, not singling them out, and there's others.
That's others.
But what I'm saying is, let Christmas be about giving and remember that Jesus was born. And that's not the day, but that's the day we celebrate on it. Mr. Bill, you said a little something about that too. I just wanted to say that, the true meaning of Christmas. It ain't black, it ain't white. Christmas don't have no color.
Right.
You got some poor white kids, you got some poor black kids.
Right.
You got some rich black kids, and you got some rich white kids. Christmas is a day that's set aside for one thing, but the world has made it to something else. Go ahead, Mr. Brent.
Okay. Well, Malcolm, as you talk about Christmas and how we come together, that's a part of your demeanor in this community.
Yes, sir.
How you want this community to come together and help the underserved and help those who have a need that has been overlooked. I commend you for that.
Yes, sir.
I just wish that it was more that we can have you do, because you totally represent with trust and honest delivery.
Yes, sir.
In the community, and the people, high and low,
Yes, sir.
trust what you bring forward, and I commend you for being the person that you are.
And I accept that, Brother Bill. Continue.
As we talk about Christmas, you know, a lot of stuff about Santa Claus and the Christmas trees, all of that is the circular community, just adding more to it. But it takes the symbolism of Christmas. When you put the lights up, we're talking about the star that the wise men followed to Jesus.
3 stars, 3 wise.
Right.
Yeah,
the star,
yes,
right.
Sir.
So we put our lights up. Okay, that's the commercial aspect of their interpretation. You're talking about gifts under a Christmas tree. You're talking about, frankincense, myrrh. You're talking about the gifts that the wise men brought, and they came from afar.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
guided by the shine and stuff.
Guided by the light. Okay, and they brought it because the Christ child was born in a manger.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we have others walking around here like Malcolm, giving kids Christmas gifts because their life activity is that of Jesus that was born in a manger. They are underserved.
And not only children, we doing things for seniors too.
For seniors as well.
No senior left behind. That is my new motto, man.
Right.
Seniors, if it wasn't for the old school, it wouldn't be a new school. Did you know that?
That is correct.
That is correct. And also, I want to say this right here. Some churches still having church Sunday, some not. But I believe this right here. I believe in order to make Jackson, Hinds County, Mississippi a better place, we're gonna have to be unified. Do you hear me, Mr. Bill? And not only be unified, but it's gonna take some sanctifying. That means we're doing what? Coming together and doing some more things, right? Because we're gonna have to get this thing under control. Shutting down schools, that's on the news. City council down there, they talking about the money missing with the police department. That's on the news. Yesterday, there was a vote taken about closing parks down, taking money out of the parks. We got to do something to save our community, Mr. Bill. What are we gonna do, Mr. Bill?
Well, it's a lot that we have on us at this particular time, and as we talk about those that we chose to be leaders, and we talk about money's missing.
That's right.
We talk about those that we trust. It brings a lot of concerns.
Yes, right. Something gonna have to give, Mr. Bill.
Brings a lot of concern. People, we must wake up. We must understand the leaders that we're choosing. Are they in there to serve the common good of their constituency, who is us? Or are they in there to get a political name for themselves and develop a deep state of benefactors?
Wow.
We don't know. If money's missing, that's a deep state of benefactors.
Wow. Listen here, I want to thank Congressman Benny Thomas. I think they're concluded their investigation on Donald Trump. I don't know all about it, but I saw that there's some things that, some guidelines that they bringing forward. And I just want America to have unity. I want to say shout out to Judge Kenny Lewis, Reverend P.J. Wiggins. Thank you for tuning in. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week for the Brent Hazzard and Malcolm Johnson Show. And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.